It was a cold, rainy night in New York City. The neon lights of the streets shimmered off the slick asphalt as Frank, the Iceman DeLuca, sat alone at a small table in the back of a dingy diner. The aroma of burnt coffee and greasy burgers hung heavy in the air. He wasn't a man who spoke much. His reputation as a hitman for the Mafia had earned him the nickname the Iceman, due to his ability to carry out his work without any emotion, without hesitation. His phone buzzed on the table, shattering the silence. Without looking at it, he knew who it was. The voice on the other end was smooth, controlled, but there was a sense of urgency. "DeLuca," the voice said, "we need you to take care of a problem. It's a big one. The boss wants him gone, now." Frank's eyes narrowed. "Who is it?" "There's no time for that," the voice replied. "Just get the job done. Meet at the warehouse at midnight. You know what to do." The line went dead. Frank's hand tightened around the phone. A cold smile spread across his face. He'd handled bigger problems before. But something about this job felt different. This wasn't just another contract. Frank's car crunched over the gravel as he parked outside the old, abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of the city. The rain had turned into a downpour, soaking him as he stepped out. But he didn't care. He was used to the cold. Inside the warehouse, the faint sound of dripping water echoed through the vast, empty space. Shadows danced across the walls, and the dim light from a single hanging bulb barely illuminated the scene. Frank's instincts told him something wasn't right. The hairs on the back of his neck stood up, and he reached for the gun tucked into the waistband of his jeans. A figure emerged from the darkness. It was Tony, a member of the Mafia who had always been a brother to Frank. But tonight something was off. "Frank," Tony said, his voice shaky, "I didn't want you to find out this way." Frank's hand tightened on the gun. "What the hell is going on, Tony?" Tony looked around nervously. "It's the boss, Frank. He wants you to take out someone close to you, someone who's been a friend for years." Frank froze. His mind raced. The boss wanted someone close to him dead? This didn't make sense. "Who?" Frank growled. Tony hesitated, then spoke the name. "It's your brother, Joe." Frank's world seemed to stop. His brother? Joe was the only family he had left. They'd grown up together, both involved in the business, both living under the weight of the Mafia's influence. But Frank never expected this. "Are you sure?" Frank's voice was barely a whisper. Tony nodded. "It was a setup, Frank. The boss. He found out Joe was talking to the feds. He was going to flip." Frank's heart pounded in his chest. Betrayal. The word echoed in his mind, his own flesh and blood turning against him. It was the ultimate form of treason. "I don't believe it," Frank said, his eyes hardening. "Joe would never." "He's been talking to them, Frank. He's been leaking information. The boss wants him gone. And he's not the only one. You're part of this too, Frank. The boss isn't going to let you walk away. We all have to clean up the mess." Frank's gaze turned cold. But it wasn't just the icy calm of a professional killer. It was the fury of a man who had been betrayed by the people he trusted most. "You've known this all along, haven't you?" Frank's voice was low, dangerous. Tony stepped back, his hands raised in a defensive posture. "I didn't want this, Frank, I swear. But you've got to make a choice." The rain was still pouring as Frank drove to the old apartment building where Joseph lived. His heart was a storm of emotions. Anger, betrayal, confusion. The wet roads reflected his turmoil as he parked in front of the building. He entered the building and made his way up the stairs to Joe's apartment. The door was slightly ajar. Frank pushed it open and stepped inside. Joe was sitting at the kitchen table, a cigarette dangling from his lips. His face was tired, weathered. He looked up as Frank entered, his eyes widening with surprise. "Frank?" Joe started, but his voice trailed off. "What's going on, Joe?" Frank demanded, his voice harsh. "The boss, he knows everything. You've been talking to the feds. Is it true?" Joe stood up, his hands raised in surrender. "I didn't have a choice, Frank. I swear. They were going to kill me if I didn't. You know how they are. They've been watching us, Frank. They were going to take me out anyway. I couldn't." Frank's eyes turned to ice. "You put us all at risk, Joe. You put me at risk." Joe took a step back, fear evident in his eyes. "You don't understand, Frank. I never wanted to betray you, but they threatened. They threatened to hurt you if I didn't. Frank's hand tightened around the gun. His finger hovered over the trigger, but something inside him hesitated. This wasn't just business anymore. This was family. For a long moment, the two brothers stood in silence, the weight of the decision heavy in the air. Frank's hand was still on the gun, but he didn't know what to do. "Please, Frank," Joe whispered. "I didn't mean for any of this to happen." Frank's voice was a hoarse whisper as he spoke, his heart breaking. "You should have thought of that before, Joe. You don't get to put me in this position." With a final resigned look, Frank lowered the gun. He couldn't do it. He couldn't kill his brother. But the decision wasn't his to make. The door burst open and men in suits stormed in. The feds. Frank's heart sank. He had been set up. Joe's betrayal had led them right to him. Before Frank could react, a gunshot rang out, and Joe fell to the ground, a look of shock and pain on his face. Frank's heart shattered as he rushed to his brother's side, but it was too late. Frank stood over his brother's body, the rain falling heavily outside. His breath was shallow, his mind racing. He had been caught in the web of lies and betrayal, spun by the mafia and the feds. As he looked down at Joe's lifeless form, Frank made a vow. He would take down everyone who had played a part in this. He would burn the mafia to the ground. But he knew one thing for sure. He would never trust anyone again. Like and subscribe for more.